Jeffrey Dahmer soaked in blood. The Unabomber blowing up. Waco, Texas, and Heaven's Gates. Aliens modified, meant for apes. JFK shot in the head by the CIA. Bigfoot and the Mothman. Son of Sam talking to dogs again. Witches, ghosts, and goblins. Mysterious noise and hauntings. Dark arts in the skull and bones. Most celebrities are probably cloned. So if you're feeling all alone, crack a beer and get stoned. I welcome you to the podcast Strange Brew. We're here to entertain you. We're here to entertain you.
It's about to get strange.
What's another word for coming inside a woman?
What?
So loading the dishwasher.
You gotta understand, that's Billy.
I think you've used that one before.
Have I?
I think so.
Did I? I like
you
it.
Rip off.
I ripped off myself.
We are laughing.
Yes.
Damn.
He also told us Billy died real quick.
Welcome everybody back to the show. This is the famous Strange Brew podcast, or getting there maybe one day. I am one of your hosts, Tomcat, aka Tom Thompson, the Raptilian. You can find all my offensive music on all music platforms. And I am joined with my co-host, Bilbo Baggins, Billy Zane, Billy Baldwin, Billy.
Who the fuck's Billy Baldwin?
It's Alec Baldwin's brother. He's the
It's
loser
not.
Baldwin. Yes,
That
it
is
Look
not.
it up.
No, it isn't. Really?
Look it
Is there a
up, yeah.
Billy Baldwin?
Yeah, Billy Baldwin, bro.
I don't
You
believe
remember
you.
in the Flintstones? I think that's Billy Baldwin, or is that the Flintstones? He plays the other guy, Billy Baldwin.
There is Billy Baldwin.
William Baldwin.
No shit, eh?
Is he the one that died? Oh no, he's still.
No, he's still alive. 61.
Man, they all look like it's so weird. Like I get genetics and looking the same, but all
he
of them,
married his wife the year I was born.
wow, that's crazy. They all look like they're kind of inbred, though. You know, I don't know. I get their
A
brothers,
little bit, yeah.
but
I
they
can see
all
that.
look so close. It is very weird, but you know, we learned on the Halloween special all about inbreeding, so it's fun times. So this is going to be interesting. Do you know what this is?
What you're drinking?
Mm-hmm.
That's your skull glass.
Yeah, but you know what's inside of it?
It looks like fucking milk. Are you drinking milk?
It's eggnog liquor. I saw it at the
Big
store.
glass of white milk. Let's go.
I saw it at the. I saw it at right up front of the front of the LCBO, and I was just getting to go to get a couple of beers.
That actually
For,
sounds really good.
Last week or whatever, and I just saw it. It was like the big display. And I'm like, already? It's like, you know, it was the end of October, time we're recording this, and it's like, Chelsea didn't come in with me, and I'm like, I'm gonna get it, and then I just grabbed it, and it's pretty good. I feel like it could be a little better, but it's like in a big bottle. It's already pre-mixed. And all that stuff's not bad.
My what's the word for it? Lactose intolerance couldn't handle that anymore. It's getting bad again, man. Dude, honestly, you know what I noticed too? It's something about living down here. So when I was down here last time, that's when I started randomly being lactose for the first time in my life. And then I moved back to Ontario and it all started like getting a little better. And now it's severely bad again.
Is it all the beer you're drinking, maybe?
No, that was happening in Ontario too. It's no difference. I swear to God, there's something with like the water or something here that fucks up your insides. I've never met more celiac or gluten intolerant in general or dairy intolerant people in my life than I have met since I've been down here.
Weird.
Like everybody's got something wrong with their stomach.
Billy's in trouble, you dumb fuck.
Billy's butt's in trouble.
It's drinking all the well water too. I think that's what probably does it.
That should be better than all the chemicals that are in the like city water.
No, I know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, well water's fucking disgusting. You
I
don't drink well water.
I would way rather drink well water than atrazine and all the other shit and the chemicals and hormones. Billy will be drinking city water for a month, and then all of a sudden he'll come on the stream and we'll have a second host that turned into a tranny.
I don't think you know what well water is.
It's just shit in the ground, man. I have a well. I've seen it. I've saws it.
No, you don't. You have a ridiculous filtration system. Your water comes out fine. The water here is undrinkable. You do not touch this water. It will Like I
So
barely,
what are you
I
drinking?
started
The
brushing my
plastic
teeth.
water bottles?
You have to go to the store and buy Culligan, like the Culligan water jugs, the big
There's probably chemicals in
4 gallon
there
ones or
too.
whatever. At least it's drinkable. The
How do
water
you
here
feel?
is
You
not
feel a little
drinkable
more
at all.
feminine lately?
Have I? Yeah, I got my nails did it.
It did. So this is a pretty interesting episode. I've seen stuff on this before, so I thought this would be interesting to get into. It's called the Slave Code. The secret's hidden in the English language. So the
Ooh.
green language, or the hidden esoteric meaning of words encoded into the lexicon, we use in our daily lives and on venues of social interactions. While one can indeed make contact with these hidden meanings, it should not be assumed that these are the only interpretations. Like all symbols, words are inherently devoid of meaning. It is our minds and consciousness that give life to them by mingling with our thoughts, beliefs, and ideas. Although it can be disturbing to know that the following meanings have a dark overtone, it is a folly to assume these words will forever be inscribed to negative things. Remember, words only describe realities, ideas, and objects, whether physical or metaphysical, and as such, when we change the landscape of our world through our actions, the meanings evolve with us. You are powerful beyond words, and within your perception and reality, nearly all of us can renew and transform.
Words hurt though.
Yeah.
They hurt you.
No, sticks and stones might break my bones, but words will never hurt me. I feel like the new
That's
generation
today.
never heard that shit.
I'm obviously joking.
Well, I was listening to Jeremy's stream last night, and then he was talking about how people are offended that the firefighters dressed up like KKK, like the ghost.
I vaguely saw that. I saw maybe like a 10-second TikTok on it. Like, what was it? Why did they do that?
I didn't hear the full story, but everyone's all mad about it. I think they were just being ghosts, but like it could have been taken either way.
They were not good. They had pointy hats. They were
ghosts
not
have
being
pointy
ghosts.
heads. Look at Casper, actually has round skull. But like
Every
either
ghost has
way,
a round head.
either way, it's just a fucking joke, right? And it's just like trolling, and people get so offended by everything. And I sent him a comment. I haven't listened to it if he read it off, but I was like, did they forget that we grew up in the generation where we said the word retard? I was like, my co-host just did Hitler Luigi for the Halloween live stream. And I was like, we grew up in this like age where we said retard and we made fun of everything. That was like literally part of it. We just made fun of everything, everyone. And that's why it's so funny. If anyone wants to like make fun of like white people in any way, like I really don't care. Like you can do it. I'll probably laugh, but if you make fun of like anybody else, it's not okay. Right.
I like that. I saw a little snippet clip there. I think it was last week. Somebody going, "Oh, I'm sorry that my jokes offended you. I'll watch my mouth next time." And they go, "No, it's not that your jokes offended me. It's just that I don't think that was funny at all." And they go, "Exactly. I'm sorry my jokes offended you. I'll watch my mouth next time. I think it's funny. You got offended. Sorry."
Well, and that's what we live in, this polarized society and stuff like that. And those are the people that will never make it out of probably what's coming. Can you see with your eyes? You have. The mind is useless if your eyes are blind. Are you missing anything regarding the words you use on a regular basis? Let's take a look. Work week, and week meaning weak, right? So you work and you become weak as you're working. Weekend. So you arrive at your weekend to your weekend from your work week because the work made you weak. They call it a work weekdays because you put most of your week in a days. You're working most of your week in a days, but you've been weakened by the work week. Give me a tongue twister on this one.
I think someone's trying to stretch here.
A break is called a break during your slave-filled day because most of the slaves would break without the break. So they would break like literally in half. You know what I mean? Our slave masters know this and provide the break because it helps us produce more milk from the human cattle. Quotations. The original break, of course, given to the slave came when they passed out from complete exhaustion or actually died.
It's like maybe a 15-minute would help.
Yeah, I know. So crazy. The slave owner would say he's broken, or
He's
taking a
broken.
permanent
I want a
break.
new one.
It's like that Family Guy skit where it's like he throws his wife on the table. He's like, my dishwasher's broken. You know, it's like, I believe some of this stuff is possible that they're using certain words, work week and being weakened by it. How do you pronounce war? Or could you go ahead and pronounce it? That's right. War with a K is work at the end. Work. That's a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
Did you know the K in the Egyptian letter is the Egyptian letter for death, the 11th? So work actually means war plus death.
I think somebody's just like really. There's a guy at home right now that's just really trying to stretch his EI, and he made this like long ass letter, and he's like,
Look,
"Please, this is why I can't go back."
Yeah, he's got like a whiteboard and stuff like that, and he's like, "Look, we're been weakened by our work week." What's up? There's somebody in the chat. Which this is supposed to be raw cuts, everybody. So if it's a war K for living, work war K, whatever, and you know how it feels. The use of a hypno-based language designed by our human farmers helps increase control over the slave class by planting the fertile subconscious with seeds of perpetual servitude. Control is control. The con job designed for the trolls.
These are going to be a lot of dumb ones.
Just wait. There's many more.
Okay.
So you've been conned into working over this control. They send us to school, and they call them schools because just like a school of fish, we think and react as one group from the indoctrine of the sameness implanted into us. We are trained as other animals are trained, yet a train is literally a boxcar after boxcar following one in front of the other without question or resistance. The word graduate meanings is gradual indoctrination because, we're being trained to go to work, right? And then we're just trained to do the mindless jobs everybody else is doing to keep us in line. You get it?
We are very, very close to being at like one of those people, those ones that are like,
what is going on at Twitch right now? Everyone's posting these weird little bunny things.
Explaining
Mr. Fluffy bunny.
Flatter.
Sorry, keep going.
You done?
Yeah, keep going. I was just reading the chats, man.
We're very close to being like on those like YouTube channels where it's like they're kind of like explaining like flat earth or like the sports betting, and they'll be like, yo, and the reason is because 6 + 5 is 11, get it? And 11, 2 ones, 9/11, planes, terrorists, bombs, dynamite. The Oakland Dynamites are winning.
Yeah. But the spelling is a spell. Like there is some truth in this. Gematria, which is the whole using symbols and numbers and stuff like that. And a lot of people, like Juan, is super into this stuff of the occult practice of magic. That a lot of people try to at least prove that this is very possible. That they're using these symbols and things to actually subconsciously brainwash us.
I could very much see that, but like when we're talking about words like control, like conning the trolls. It's like,
well,
okay,
you know why I call it a con artist? You know why I call him a con artist?
Why is that?
Because he's confident. He's confident in his art form. He's conning. It's a con artist. That's literally where that word comes from.
I don't think con means confident.
It does. Because it is. Con artist. Where the word con artist comes from. But I also think that like we've been, pushed into this individuality, but life is a team sport. And if things get bad enough, there will be people that will need to collectivize to actually change things. Because unfortunately, I don't think anyone's coming to save us or you or anybody. Did you find it, fun fact boy?
Wow, that doesn't make sense. That's so dumb.
Every time you doubt me, you get proven wrong.
That is not true. Every time I doubt you and I get proven wrong is when it stays in the cuts. And when I'm right, you cut it.
So when you get up in the morning, but I've heard this one is interesting, but mourning is a form of sorrow or grieving. You say, like, which I've heard is probably possible because we got up in the morning and we're mourning from the beautiful sleep we had, stuff like that. You say hello as you arrive. Why is our greeting hello? Why is hell a part of our greeting? Why do other words referring to a hot place sounding like hot male or Firefox? Who is the historical hot male? Who is the historical hot male there, buddy?
Gandhi. Oh, no,
No.
probably fucking, who's that guy that had sex with like 90% of the world that we're all genetically related to?
Oh, Genghis Khan?
Yeah.
It was only Asians, though. It wasn't us. We come from somebody else like that. The devil, which is the word lived,
that would make sense.
Spelled backwards. The devil is the word lived, spelled backwards. Whoops.
So that means if we lived, we're the devil. Is that what you're getting at?
Well, the devil is controlling our world at this moment.
It's evil to live. Not live.
Spell back. Evil being the word lived, spelled backwards.
Live.
Think about it. Live and live is the same fucking shit. It's so dumb. It is. English language is pretty weird. And I only speak just the English language. I'm not really content on learning anything else, especially French, even though I might have some French ancestry, but I'm not going to join them. I can't.
I think I have to. I'm living down here. I want to start a business. I think
you're going to learn French?
I think so. There's a lot of French people. That'll help business a lot if I know French.
Good luck. When you get up in the morning to earn a living, but you earn to also yearn a vessel to keep the cremated ashes of your body. You earn. Get it? Morning is another word synonymous with death. You wake from your slum because your system never gives you enough to get ahead. With coffee, the same pretext used is coffin, Egyptian origin, originally spelled kafi or caffeine with a K-A, means the spirit after death. Pretty weird, man.
Makes sense. I like that spirit, though. That's a good spirit.
If this was like real and like that everything we're saying on a daily basis is just subconsciously brainwashing us and lulling us into this form of like servitude towards the higher elites and the reptilians and stuff, You go to your job, but Job is Job in the Bible is the man who is heavily tormented by God, pronounced Job. Job in the Bible, Job in the Bible, J-O-B, and his wealth and health and children stolen from him by Satan. And Satan was given permission by God to do so. And
you know what Job stands for, though, right?
What does it stand for, Billy?
Just over broke.
Nice. Why is our job, literally named after a man, Job, who has health and his children taken away from him? Why is God and Satan working together on Job in the Bible to make his life miserable? That's what's crazy about some of the things in the Bible. Like God is like, all right, that's fine. Just like,
he
let
needs
Cain
to learn
kill
his
brother or whatever. Yeah, Cain kills Abel, right? And that's supposed to be the descendants of some of these people that are in control. Maybe. The Jews.
It's probably the Jews. Good chance, right?
Who knows anymore? We're gonna be doing. I'm not like it's too long for you. You couldn't withstand. Well, you didn't want to withstand the Halloween special. I'm gonna do the protocol.
4 hours, bro.
3.5, but I love those long episodes. Sink my teeth right into it, get fired up. But I'm doing it with I'm gonna do it with Jules. We're gonna be doing the Protocol Elders of Zion, probably one of the most controversial episodes we may ever do. But I've got some stuff prepared for that, so everybody, get ready. So he's miserable, right? And God just like lets him. Why are they working together to make his life miserable? Why is a meeting place of religion called a parish pronounced the exact same way as perish, the word meaning to die? Huh? Why?
Sorry, what was the first one again?
People
Sorry.
go to a parish for religion.
In what religion do they go to?
What do you mean? I think it's a Christian thing, right?
They go to a parish? I've never heard of that before.
Parish, an administration part of whatever that says, especially in it's Catholic.
Oh,
The
that's
members
why.
of such a parish, a religious community, attend one church,
Oh, okay.
one government, one ring to rule them all.
One daddy.
But don't everyone voted for Pierre. Don't forget that he had 2 gay fathers and he's adopted. So I wonder where he comes from. We're never getting out of this alive, people. I hope you know that. Yeah, so weird. And the word church comes from the word kirk in Scotland. Weird. Kurt comes from the Roman word creek, and creek comes from the Greek word mother Crease, pronounced Circe.
Fucking roadmap for that
I
one.
know.
Okay.
A sorceress is a sorceress who tempts man into her house and then turns them into pigs and eats them. That's what Mother Circe's did in Scottish folklore. I actually didn't know that. I'd probably be interested to get some Scottish folklore.
Turns people into pigs
and then eats them.
Is that considered cannibalism at that point?
Well, no, because cannibalism. I was listening back to our cannibal episode.
It was a person though, and then you turned them into something else, but that's still a person.
Maybe because cannibalism is the act of eating your own kind.
So
if a pig eats another pig, then he's.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, I always just assume humans because we're always just. Yeah, I guess we're.
But I guess but it's like
well,
if I do witchcraft and I turn you into I was gonna say something more fucked up. I was like, I turn you into like a cow or something like that, and I eat you. Are you still a human on the inside, or are you just a spirit of a human in a cow?
I bet you whatever the answer is, I would still be Billy. that's a for sure. Still be Goofy, Billy, no matter what animal.
Go ahead, look it up yourself because that's the best kind of research. For our salaries, for our slavery, we're given 20 bills, 50 bills, and 100 bills, etc. But aren't bills something you pay, something you owe? At a restaurant, you're giving a bill for $50. Don't you owe $50? And there is lies in the secret in plain sight. Our payments are called bills by our human farmers because we owe it all back to them. First in taxes, then in useless, meaningless purchases as we waste our money trying to rapidly decorate our jail cell down on the human farm.
Or even my name.
What?
I said even my name. Where does my name tie into that?
Well, you're William, and then people are like, that's too long. So he's just Billy now.
I'm just very taxing on people.
Billy.
Yes, that Billy is crazy.
So we spend our bills on soulless purchases from large corporations that our social engineers own. They laugh at us as inept we are. This is why most people have no money, because we're not being paid to be slaves. We're being given bills that we need to pay. We are paying to be slaves. That's what debt is. The act of getting to pay in bills is having less than as each work weekend goes by. We owe everything in voluntary and involuntary purchases. The money is charged to leave the slave's hands as soon as they touch it. The system is designed to make money flow through the hands like water, but by calling the fake paper money bills, a word meaning we owe it to others, ends with us being more likely to simply give that money away when we need it to stop being slaves.
That was very heartfelt, Tom. I come from a good place. Do you feel better now?
I did.
Okay.
This is it's pretty wild. This is like I'm sure some of this shit is probably possible that we are using this to enslave ourselves in some regard. But it's like you can find hidden meanings in everything if you do look for it. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing, though, right? When they're things like hidden meanings and stuff like that, it's how much is it actually
I know.
like, and then is that a stretch from somebody just thinking that? Was that an accident? Was that real? What's that mean? Like, it just becomes such
What
a
is it?
fucking
You know?
nonsense. Yeah.
Look like a guy from the early 2000s. I literally used to wear my
I was
hat
gonna
like
say,
this when I was a teenager. So like, so
I
dumb.
know you did. I know you did. I'm well aware.
You've always kind of looked the same.
I really have. Yeah, I
Like,
get that a lot. I
realistically.
did not. I don't look any different than when I did in high school.
That picture of you playing guitar when you're like 16, you look the exact same. Just
I
a
know.
little.
I barely aged.
It's so funny. You obey the watch to arrive on time because the watch is designed to be modern, the modern watcher or slave driver, which is true. Like the first clocks that were really built, especially would be one in like a town square, so to speak, and everyone would hear it and they would know it's time to go to work because the big ding ding went off.
The ding ding, and now I gotta get up.
And then eventually they like put it into watch. Like it's all like definitely watches. Like David Icke says, time doesn't exist, a watch does.
Time exists because the sun and the moon are on specific times.
No, the sun is just a plasma portal, man.
Yeah,
You
a plasma
obey the
portal that
watch
gives
to
us-
arrive on time.
gives
It's a
us
fucking
light
portal. It's a
and
portal.
nutrients.
It's a portal. I actually just watched a video.
That's a
on that.
bright ass portal.
You obey the watch to arrive on time because the watch is designed to keep you to be the modern watcher or slave driver. What drives the slave to work when you can't have many people whipping each other, slaves across the world? You can't have everyone whipping each other, in a big line or eating each other's asses like you're in fucking Human Centipede. That's when the watch comes into the picture. You can watch yourself. Watch your watch the next time you go to work. The watch owns you, rushes you. You obey it like a gun to your head. The watch washes you and signifies the wrist chain worn by someone who isn't in control of their time. You keep looking at your watch as you race to work. The new watcher is complete control of the slave. Sometimes the slave pays for and wears themselves. The more expensive the watch, the more slaves believe they're free. Fun. That's pretty interesting because they did get us to police ourselves, and that's the whole idea. Is everyone policing each other?
Stop.
What's going on?
You hear that shit? The cat's losing its mind on the fucking scratching floor right now.
Just throw something at it.
No, he's done.
Shut up, cat. Get this. The necktie, which originally designed to signify the dog collar or neck chain, meaning being owned and controlled by someone else. You need to have a collar shirt on to wear a necktie around your throat. The necktie means you're tied and controlled by another. Slave to the script. The slave can only pick the color and the quality of the tie, but can never choose to be free of the tie around their neck. Most people at work have a title.
You can get clip-ons.
I have a clip-on tie.
No, that's because you don't know how to tie a tie.
I actually do. I watched a YouTube video.
You just learned.
Just so I could hang myself properly.
To be fair, though, I love ties. You look fancy as shit, and I'm like, I feel good. Makes you feel better than any other article.
We should just copy Jeremy and just fucking like every episode we're in a new suit.
I don't have that many suits. That'd be good.
Well, I think he rotates like 3 or 4, but like it is clever to like that's how you do your live stream is just like suited up, looking like fresh. I'm just wearing my fuck communism shirt because I really mean I fuck communism.
I don't think you're supposed to do that.
No. That ends in mass starvation and gulags. So most people at work have a title, right? Title is really title. The symbolism of how your title name tells you who you are tied to. This is definitely like tongue twister shit. Your tie tail signifies who controls the tie, the dog collar around your neck, around the collared shirt like a dog on a leash. People often wear uniforms. Uniform is derived by uni, which means one. That's why, you know, when cops you're supposed to wear that uniform, right? So if a cop does something bad, you should all be held accountable for it because it's a uniform. When you put on that uniform, you are supposed to be a unit. You are supposed to be one thing, just like the RCMP and everyone else being corrupt as fuck. And if there's good people within that and wearing that uniform, you should be calling out and arresting the people that are corrupted. Same with in Parliament and all these other fucking goofy ass fucks.
You tell him, Tom.
Well, come on, man. Like, we're heading into one of the most dangerous times in the Canadian history. So meaning one, like, or form meaning a way to be. Uniform means you are programming and conditioned to act like everyone else wearing the same uniform. Equaling no independence and no free will. You're schooled like fish to move as one and trains to follow like a train. You're trained to follow the next person. Your mortality and ethics are spoken for. Your time is spoken for. Get it? Did you get it?
Like, I'm starting to think there's much more to it.
You're crazy, man. You're crazy. I like you.
I'm cool with the tide thing, though.
You're going to take some Tide Pods and then you're going to tie your rope around your neck. And then... Oh, man. I can't believe do people actually do that? Do people actually eat Tide Pods?
There was it was a stint. Remember, it was in one of my lyrics. I had a good one.
I know, but it's crazy. I remember talking about that years ago, and I was like at the beginning of the show. There's going through everything for all the fans. If you really want to know what happened at the beginning of the show, you're just gonna have to subscribe to the Patreon because I'm gonna dump a bunch of episodes on there. I guarantee 100 episodes have been cut from the show that will eventually be transferred onto the Patreon. Because it has to be.
Those don't need
way.
to be anywhere. Those don't even need to be on the Patreon. I'm good.
Oh, they will be.
Those.
They will. That's why I'm like, let's do. I told you on the Halloween episode that like there's definitely times where I'm like, we were like, you were coming over and then we were drinking all night, and then we'd hang out after or whatever. But like we're already like, it's so crazy what we were doing. Like drinking, we would drink like half of 2060 before we even started recording, which is so nuts.
To get the courage to record.
I know. It's so
you catch
crazy.
These guys mid-bombed. You're like, okay.
That's why I was always surprised when you and Anton started tuning into the show, like at the beginning or whatever. I was like, I don't even know why people were listening to us. And he was like, because we're like, man, these guys are actually drunk. It's just like crazy. Your thoughts are so yeah, and your time is spoken for. Your thoughts are spoken for. Inject the other slave with a toxin vaccine, the shoddy shot. Can't say that. Fucking get me pull off YouTube. That's one of it's crazy. I told you that music video that me and Brett did where he's like he's supposed to be like a Fed with the gun pointing to my head as I'm rapping and stuff like that. And I tried to upload it to YouTube. It got taken down. So I blurred out the gun and all that stuff. And then I tried to upload it to YouTube and I almost got my channel like taken down. My hip hop channel, which doesn't have many people, but I chose to try to put stuff out there. More people are listening to the audio on like Spotify and stuff. And then I read the thing that was why I kept getting flagged was because I said that I used that word, the V word, with the word poison and saying it's poisonous or whatever, right? And that's what flagged me. Not like all the other crazy shit. I thought it was the fuck your pronoun shit. No, it wasn't. It was just that because they're like, don't talk about that. What are you doing? We already canceled like thousands of fucking accounts on YouTube because of that.
You know what just happened today? Like literally today. And I didn't say anything, but fuck, I almost...
What?
My immediate thoughts, like I feel bad a little bit because like anything I think is funny, like I'll blurt out immediately without thinking of the consequences, without doing anything. I'm just like, yeah, that's whatever. I thought about it. Like I have very little filter when it comes to things that I think are funny. I was just at Superstore not too long ago. Fucking literally like an hour and a half ago. I was looking for a napkin. The guy behind the fucking counter there. I'm asking him like, hey, do you have a napkin? Like, I just need to blow my nose. And I didn't really see it right away because he had his back turned to me, and then he turned back. And like usually when people have name tags or whatever, like out of common courtesy, I'll typically thank them by their name. He had his name tag, but his name was so small, and then underneath, what was so large was just he/him.
Oh my god!
And I so badly, I stopped myself. I didn't do it, but I really just wanted to be like, thanks, he/him.
Yo, I would have definitely done that.
I know, but I'm just
I
like,
just
I'm
can't
not
do
ready.
it,
I'm not starting to fight in the fucking.
By what? A guy that you could break over your knee? All those people are weak.
It's not. It
communists.
doesn't matter. There's a level of like just general common
Even if
courtesy
you
that
just
you
said-
just don't do shit like
He'd
that.
probably just make him cry by saying that. Yeah, I am he/him. What do you mean, man? Anyone that puts their pronouns in their bio or anything like that, I think you're kind of pathetic. And I know that there could be listeners with it, but I'm like, it's pathetic. You're going along with like literal bullshit, literal like actual bullshit, like a bullshit. So there's a word for you. So
Anyways, it was just a funny story.
yeah, everything's funny to you. Serve that the other slave some poisonous coffee at the coffee shop. Go unalive. I'm not gonna say that word. Go unalive slaves in other countries and inside fake wars where the slave masters control both sides. Very factual, very true. The Rothschild sponsored almost all of the wars that have taken place in history throughout their bloodlines before, when they were just the Rothschild means red shield and all that. We'll get into that at some point.
Your filter is very odd, eh?
My filter?
Yeah, your word filter. So Tom has no issue saying retarded, idiot, fucking moron.
Oh, those are not bad. The R word,
transgender.
Yeah, fuck your
he'll
pronouns.
say, yeah, fuck your pronouns. He'll say y'all have mental disabilities. He'll say, if you took the shot, you're fucking dumb, that the shot's gonna poison you. But heaven fucking forbid he says the word
deaths so far.
murder or kill.
It was kill slaves in other countries. So everyone's like, it's just like, I know it's true. And that's why I always get banned from TikTok. Is like, even the wife's like, just say it differently, and she's like, I don't even know why you need to say these things, but she's like, just say it differently. And I'm like, I don't have a filter. Right. I don't want to dance around these issues and be like, we're gonna say it like this. We're gonna like, and people are like, well, it's a smart thing to do. You just have to work the system. And I'm like, fuck the system, you know. Welcome to the slave life. You know, a uniform means the outsourcing of the free will and being just being obedient to your slave master reflexively. So just
as they should.
Just bend over and take
There's
it.
something I shouldn't.
Obey, comply, consume, sedate, repeat. Work by, consume, die. Work
Sounds
by.
Like a really good
die.
life. My fucking life's not that nice.
Thinking of that, I'm actually definitely going to create a shirt that says that. Work by, consume, die. You know, it's just, I can just make whatever I want. Put on a t-shirt, then I'll wear it. You know, I don't give a fuck if anyone else buys it. I can't wear this one with anybody but myself. And why? I do, and I don't care, because everyone, like, people get mad at me. People in my life don't want me wearing a shirt that says "fuck communism." But I've went out on my own, went by myself, and Nani just strolled in, just not give a fuck. I don't like your ideologies. Go fuck yourself. They were all that stupid shit. So far, there's like a chick. Somebody took a picture of her. She's wearing a mask, and it says like. Fuck capitalism or whatever, and someone's like, wow, it's really capitalistic of you to be typing on your $1,000 computer wearing a mask, being obedient to the government and all that, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, some of those people are so funny, and we don't live in true capitalism because it's manipulating a puppet. But it's true that the kids should have a right to be mad, because corporate greed has really overtaken our societies, where now they can, like, your governments are controlled by lobbyist groups and corporations and people in foreign countries, because people are greedy, and they want, everything's about selfishness, right? Especially in our societies now. All those politicians, including foreign interference and all that stuff, and you know, it's like there's no like being a good person anymore. It's just like, how can I get rich off the backs of other people? That's all these politicians do. I don't know one that doesn't.
Or just a thought, you could not get mad at it and do your part to fix it.
But you need enough people, because we need to collectivize, you know, collect and advise. I'm just going to make every word now. I'm going to break it down for people. You have to collect, a bunch of people, and then I'll advise them, and then I'll start a cult, and it'll be great.
We should start a cult, dude. Tax free.
Yeah,
We should start
yeah.
a church. We could
New
put
religion.
put a little thing. Yeah, I'm down.
The hose heads. I'll think of something a little more creative than that.
I just like the tax free part of it.
I know. Well, just wear a headdress.
No, I don't want to wear anything. Just you come as you are, and you're part of us now.
As you are, be my cult member. So a uniform meaning outsource of yes, obey. Obey, comply, consume, sedate, repeat. To follow, you must first follow. To crawl on your knees the rest of the way. Follow. The suit and tie is the most common.
What's the O for?
Like, oh. Can I get a oh yeah?
Okay.
Signifying our willingness to outsource our mortal and ethics to another. Your behavior dictated by forces outside of yourself. The removal of free will. And this is true because like I wish I could meet this guy, get him on the show. There's a guy that like in Canada, he's been, and this is like a couple of years ago that he was interviewed and stuff like that. He doesn't have a driver's license, doesn't have a birth certificate, doesn't have like anything. And because he's found a way to go around the system and become a sovereign citizen, real sovereignty, where you're not bought out by the government. And I actually do have a whole episode. You might be interested in doing it. It's all about the birth certificate being a slave card. So the same kind of idea as this episode. And there's a lot of truth to that. You know, but people like, then you can't participate in society. But there's people that have somehow worked their way around it in the maritime laws. Eventually we'll break some of this stuff down, but it's like
the only thing I could think of in the world that would really fucking backfire on you. There's a couple of things. Is if you ever want a house, you're never going to be able to mortgage anything.
He owns a house.
You'd have to have enough money to build it yourself if you're going to do that.
If
you're not getting taxed forever, that's
the only license he has and license plate is on his work truck. That's it. He owns his own house. This guy's
you wouldn't be able to. It's tough because Canada, the laws are so fucking loose with healthcare, but technically you're not supposed to be able to see a doctor.
Imagine not paying taxes and then just like paying a private owned business or whatever, right? I will somehow I posted a video on Facebook a long time ago. Well, maybe like last
there would be some annoying hurdles, definitely way more perks than not, but
I'll try to bring up that video.
There would be some annoying ones.
Yeah, I'll try to bring up the video of that guy. It's pretty interesting, and he claims that everybody could do this.
Who the fuck? How didn't he get a birth certificate?
He just
like his mom never fucking gave him one.
So there is people that I can't remember the name for it, but there's legit people that have had kids. More people who are impoverished and live in maybe like right because you know it's I was gonna make a joke. Never mind. But like you know that's part of it is like some people will just have a kid and then they don't register it because they're like in poverty or poor or whatever, live in some sort of ghetto or in the jungle.
Well, you think you would register it because the government gives usually money for that if you're impoverished.
I know. Well, there should be way more incentive like there should be more incentive to actually have kids because they're claim like all that stuff. I hate what's going on in the world and immigration and all that shit, obviously, if you guys can't tell. But like there was no incentive for Canadians to have more kids. And they're like, well, you guys didn't have more kids. And that was literally because they told people in the 80s that there was too many people to begin with. Like they're like, we're overpopulated. They lied to Canadian citizens. And then, you know, in the 60s, they passed the Immigration Act and all the stuff that they've done to essentially erode our national identity and our freedom in this country. And it's only going to get worse. So yes, you're dictated by forces outside of yourself. They remove of your free will. You arrive on time. The work time is time me to the chains so the work can begin. Put the tie around the neck so I can obey and comply to the slave master. The cufflinks represent the handcuffs or links of the traditional slave-based chain around the wrist. That kind of actually seems like logical.
It does, because cufflinks are a weird name for what they are. I know. It's a very weird name.
Cuff link, and then it's made from gold. We think we're free. We lie to ourselves because lying is a word that means we lie down, submitting to our slavery instead of standing up to the slave master. Submit is made up of word sub, meaning below, and mit, meaning hand or glove. Weird.
Okay.
Submit, and you're like, you're getting your hand shoved in your ass, and then it's like a puppet. As we
Disgusting.
submit, we agree to be under someone else's hand or control. We exchange our chains of cast iron for gold chains of gold. You know, it would be funny. Like, yeah, like
At least we
you
get gold out of it. To be
I know.
fair,
It would be like, you know, chaining up like a black guy to be your slave, and then you're like, look though, your chains are made out of gold. Isn't that fancy?
I feel like this is kind of nice, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't mind it here.
Do you know that I'll have to bring this up at some point, but you know, like the percentage of white people that own slaves, like back in the day. Do you
I
know
thought
it?
you were gonna fucking say today.
No. Well, that happens in the Congo because guess what?
Well, realistically, you had to have money. If I had to guess, I'd say maybe 15.
It's way less than that. It's
Yeah.
like 0.4 or something like that.
No.
Yes, but the thing is,
No,
hey,
it had to be more.
listen,
than that.
I'm saying white people own slaves, not Africans, not people across the world. Okay, the majority of people that own slaves. You can look this up. I have the statistic. I think I saved.
Yeah,
it.
but that would be
guys, listen,
that would be so unvolatile because like
It's the people that pretend to be white. Jewish people own more slaves than any other person, and they actually own
that's
way
fair,
more of a
okay.
percentage. And it's crazy. And I screenshot this stuff from X and stuff.
Still though, at the end of the day, like that stats like that are so
You
so
can trace
misconstrued.
history.
Yeah,
names.
but not to that fucking
Sven,
point.
Goldstein.
The people that had slaves, like, were they on a fucking tax list? Like,
They had
I don't-
registers. You
I
have
don't
to
believe it was-
register. Dude, you had to
You got to
register
register your slave, but did you have
Yes.
to insure it?
yeah. You can.
What
You
if they
get,
got in another fight with another slave?
I
And
know.
what if it wasn't your fault?
If Big John dies, you get Little John. You know, like I don't know.
I was thinking more like a car crash. Like, what if somebody runs into your slave and he wasn't even moving?
I can't. Yeah, I know. I can't remember. There's like Dave Chappelle. No, I think it's actually Key and Peele. There's like a joke, and they're like staying there as slaves, and the one guy just kept not getting picked. And it's just like, come on, man, what the fuck? Like,
Oh, that's Key and Peele.
yeah, so
He's like, come on. He's like trying to flex, and
Yeah.
he's like,
he's next to this huge guy.
he's like, this sucks, man.
It's so funny. So
I liked fucking. Sorry, I got one more. I
Yeah.
liked Jim Jeffries or Tom Segura's slave joke.
What is it?
No, he's like, honestly, he's like, sometimes do you ever just wonder what kind of slave owner you would be? He's like, I know what I would be. He's like, I like collecting cars now. Stupid.
Yeah, very dumb.
Anyways,
So-
carry on.
The person in charge means the person who conducts electricity as the charge in electrical and energy terms that describes the energy thrown into us from the slave master, making us perform and dance with their electricity. As we've had our own personal electric charge of free will, will surgically remove by the master's indoctrination system in sleight of hand. The person in charge controls our very the very electrical life force that we are, because we submit to their authority. Authority derives from the word author and the person who writes. We're almost at the end of this, so let me put on some more creepy music to go along with this. So, someone wrote down that we are less and more, and we complied because the word magic is powerful, full of power. Words are more powerful than the sword. But did you notice? Sword is word. It's a word with an S, bro.
Sword is word.
My word is bond. With the S in front of it. How much are we not seeing with our eyes? Did you know the S is the hieroglyph that represents a person versed in knowledge and word magic? Words are indeed swords if wielded by someone with knowledge of human mind and spells. And writing is called spelling. A fancy writing is cursive, to cast a spell or curse. Think about that, man. Think about that.
Good thing they don't
Swords.
teach it anymore.
Swords, yeah. Well, they do now. That people are pissed, so they have to. It's just like it's crazy. That's how like we literally got where it's like, well, we don't need to teach kids cursive anymore. They're retarded and they're always on their iPads. So like, who cares? They're barely going to learn everything. We just need them to be 9-to-5 slaves and make sure that they sign up to the army so we can send them off to Israel.
They're fine.
It's crazy that we're like, let's just not teach them cursive anymore. Like that's like. We're losing society, man. So yeah, to cast spell or curse, swords are used against you every day by what the ancient word called serpent. The S, Sir Pence, Michael Pence. I'm just kidding. And this is why you call a high-ranking man in our society today sir, as you are a slave passing by. This is why we still under servitude to the serpents. Now it's back to the reptilians, get it? During conventional slavery, the slave owner had to incur all costs, including housing, healthcare, food, cleaning of the slave quarters, clothing, birthing of the child slaves, raising the child slaves, transporting of the slaves back and forth from work, celebrations, I'm surprised I let them do that, clean up after natural disasters, slave entertainment, schooling of the new slave children to be good slaves, etc. A slave owner's profit was always revenue minus expenses, no difference than any business. The big trick was to tell the slave that they were free, let them pay for all those expenses, allowing them to come back to the plantation, then tax them in order to actually make more of a profit, compared to the original slave concept with no to little chance of rebellion or resistance. All taxation is meant to increase a slave's dependence on their slavery, as people are taking the tax away from the slaves to print more money themselves, therefore they don't have use for it. Taxation is all about keeping us slaves down. I truly believe that all taxation is theft.
Yeah.
I truly believe that it's just a system of us being dependent on the system, on the government. And the more they try to implement all these social credit score stuff, it's going to get like, we're going to be like China, man. You won't have access to food or moving your vehicle or any of that stuff. If they keep going on with this New World Order agenda, like it's going to get bad. And I was like, even arguing with one of my cousins about the 15-minute cities. He's like, well, you know how hard it is to live in Toronto? I was like, don't live in Toronto then, man. Like, it's like you shouldn't even be living in a city. That's not how humans should live to begin with. But they've built these complex cities so they can keep you like a fucking rat in the mouse trap. Every day, go into your slave job because you're a slave. Taxation has one purpose and one purpose only: to make the slave dependent on coming back to the modern plantation of slavery day in and day out. If the slave starts to save their money, give them a TV full of negative role models. Watch the slave magically go into debt. It's like all these chicks on OnlyFans. If the slave still has money, organize a stock market crash and increase the taxes. Theft. The people who print the money have no use for extra fake paper money because your money is fake and the dollar's going to collapse pretty soon, people, which they can print at any time in any quantity they desire. Hence Canada, if anyone's paying attention, Canada has fucking print. Trudeau has put Canada in more debt than all other prime ministers combined. That is crazy. That's nonsense. The entire drive of the tax system is to make sure the slave has no extra money, as to provide them with enough freedom to figure out this. They don't want you to know. Slavery wasn't abolished because, even I've said this before, it was a proclamation, which is just it's just saying something. The Emancipation Proclamation was just that, a proclamation. There was no laws passed. There was nothing done to actually make slavery illegal. You can look this up. It's facts, bro. But it wasn't abolished. The plantation was simply expanded, and they mock us inside the language. Everyone was tricked into becoming a slave while believing they're free. The language is loaded with many powering subconscious cues because our human farmers have been at this game much longer than they allow us to know. Do you know what's going on? Are you sure? What do you think? Pretty compelling, eh?
They probably don't know what's going on.
It's compelling. It's
it was at first that was dumb as shit, but yeah, that turned around a bit.
It's weird, right? Like, who knows?
That came a lot more. I still don't like
think...
the one that really stuck out that I think that just should not have been in this is the controlling one. That one, I fucking hated that.
How
That was
long
dumb.
have we been using the word troll for, especially like internet troll and then like trolls in general? I'd have to look up like
Under
when did
the
word
bridge.
troll. Yeah. Some crackhead, you know.
It's time for Billy's Fun Fact of the Day!
So how long ago we recorded that?
Okay, I just realized that I can
basement.
still present here because I need you to see something.
See
King.
something, something. It's some of the thing. I'm gonna do that for like a week. Every time I say anything, I'm just gonna break it down and then make up some stupid meaning for it.
Okay, here I'm gonna present
Stupid.
for a second.
Stupid. All right, present your screen, boy.
Okay,
Present it.
you know this gentleman.
No, Carl. What is XVI?
10, 5, 6. So it's 16.
Okay.
This is the King of Sweden.
Right now?
One sec.
That guy looks.
Look what he
retarded.
wears.
What? in
Look
the
what he
fuck?
wears. This is
Can
what he
you
always
explain to the
wears.
audio listeners?
Yeah. So
This guy looks mentally disturbed.
I don't. There's not really an explanation. It's just weird.
So
So the guy
explain?
wears the most outlandish hats. Oh, sorry. King of Sweden wears the most outlandish looking hats you've ever seen in your life. And it's like every single time he gets his photo taken, he's almost in like a different like absolutely ridiculous hat. Like some of these have to be AI at this point. Like this one, like fucking
He's
what?
wearing like bunny ears. He
He's
has a
wearing
hot dog. Making the
bunny
frogs gay
ears,
hat.
frogs. He wears a moose. They're making the fucking frogs gay. Like, what is that? Is that one of those balls you buy at the dollar store that like have the little puff thing in them?
That's
That
so
kind of looks
weird,
like
man.
Diddy. Anyways,
Yo,
isn't that weird? That was just kind of like, yeah. I don't
He has
think
a
that's
mushroom on his head. Man, he has like helmets.
Isn't that
all sorts of
weird?
stuff. Yeah, it is.
That was
very
kind of
weird.
just a weird thing. I just stumbled across there. I was like, that's kind of neat.
Yeah. We're
It's
done.
just weird.
Give me a second.
We're done.
No, he has not. Charlie has not been fed. So yeah, that's pretty funny actually. I think the Swedish people hate that guy though.
Nah, maybe.
Pretty sure
I
that
didn't
he
look that far
probably
into it.
eats children for breakfast. I'm pretty sure.
Good chance.
So that was interesting. I'm actually going to do a lot more episodes like this kind of stuff. Like I do really love the conspiracy shit and it's like fascinating. And I have a bunch of different articles. I told Aaron that I just don't think you want a whole month on communism, but I have like literally like 5 episodes breaking down from the beginning of communism to like how it took over certain societies like China and like North Korea and Vietnam and all that stuff. A lot. And I don't know, at some point I want to do it. Like maybe me and you I'll decide who I think is fit to cover this, but it's fairly interesting stuff. And I had it originally as this like really long page. And I was like, so I finally broke it down because I was like, there's no way we're going to be doing fucking 6 hours on comedy.
That was a fun episode though, guys.
I liked it. So everybody support the show, buy merch. You can go on the www.strangerootpodcast.com. You can buy merch. The link tree is always at the bottom of all the episodes, whether you watch it or listen. You can click on it and it has links to the music that we've done. It has links to our merch shop. It has links to the website. Literally everything. Our Instagrams, well, at least the Strange Root Podcast Instagram and one of mine, I think. But you can find all that stuff. Like it's the best way to do it. You can click it and then everything's there. You know, we have some fun merch. I might create some more. I just did the Horny for Horror t-shirt for a Class Horrorcast. So everybody make sure to subscribe, like, share, all that stuff. Give us a good review. We'll appreciate it greatly. And stay strange out there. And remember to watch your wording and watch the watch as it watches you.